Hi guys, it's Shemi. So today we're going to make these fun little postcards. This will be a video in real time, but they're super simple to make. It's a great way to use your scraps. So what I'm going to start out with now is an outburst card. I get these at the thrift store. They're super cheap. And then you're just going to pick a whole bunch of scraps. I always have tons of scraps on my desk, so that's literally what I'm using here. Okay, and then you can use glue and water, or I love to use decoupage glue. That's what I mostly use now, but I do use glue and water, and that would be fine for this application. Okay, so I'm just going to take my brush, right, and I'm just going to put down the pieces. And this is supposed to have kind of a collage look to it, which I love. So, and these are perfect size for postcards, for mixed media postcards. Okay, they work very great. And it's just a mix of paper. I think that one is like wallpaper, pink wallpaper that I got from a thrift store, I think. And this is just some paper towel that my friend Diana gave me. She gives me some of her mop-up paper towels, which is great. So I always try to include those. And then some scrapbooking paper that someone sent me in Happy Mail, because I used it for another project. So it's just scraps. Like, this is a great way if you have a scrap drawer, which I totally do, because I don't like to throw anything away and I know that I'll use it. This is a great project for that. And if you wanted to, you could even add like paint to them. And I will add a little bit of paint, but just kind of with stenciling and stamping. And I let mine hang over the edge a little bit. Like, don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. You want it to overlap and just have fun. And you know, for those days when you have tons of scraps on your desk, you can just grab a little postcard and make a little mixed media postcard. And these are just the standard size of postcards. I think it's like 6.5 by 4.5 inches or something like that. So yeah, and you could also just cut it down, you know, for mixed media paper, or even like cardboard would work well. So, and if you wanted to, you could color code these too, but I really just wanted this to be kind of everything but the kitchen sink. If you ever ate that at a restaurant, there's a delicious restaurant called Anthony's in Colorado, and or Antonio's. And my big sister used to take me there when I was a little girl, but they have this pizza called Everything But the Kitchen Sink, and literally that's what it has on it, and that was my favorite pizza. So I always think about that when I do this project. But it's just a fun way to use up all your little scraps. And I mean, you get so many of these outburst little cards. I mean, there's tons of them. I will probably never use all of these, but I can use them in a whole bunch of projects. And they're usually just a couple of dollars at the thrift store. So definitely be looking out for that kind of game. And it just comes like in a green box. And I see them all the time. Must have been a super popular game. It looks like tons of people have it. Okay, so what you'll do after you get all your pieces on there, which I am pretty much done, I'll put a little piece here, is that you'll just let that dry. Okay, just put one there. So I will just kind of do a coating, and what I like to do is I have this little tool here that I got from Family Dollar, and it's I just kind of scrape down those pieces, make sure they come in contact with the glue so nothing's sticking up, and then we're good. Okay, and then I just set that aside to dry. Sometimes you do have to apply a little bit of glue on the edge, you know, but it's okay. Okay, that's how you do, just set it aside to dry. Okay, so then what you end up with is something that looks like this. And this I added like some Asian comics that I got from my friend Pam. We went to the thrift store and we found a book, so we split it. She got half and I got half. It was only $1 too. And then you're going to need some scissors, which I have here, and you're just going to trim it down first. So just kind of follow the card as a guide. And you can seriously just, you know, cover this with white paper on the back write your little note, write the person's address, and you can slap these in the mail. I'm not kidding. And they totally get mailed off. Now, I usually put mine in an envelope, just because postcards can take a while to get to people. I think it's like the lowest form of mail, so they kind of take their time. So, okay, so that's what you have. Okay, now we're going to add some paint. Just close this up really quick. So what I have here is Americana Orange, Multi-Saturn, and Neon. Okay, I'm just going to add it right up here. I just see a clean spot there, and that was probably way too much. That's okay. And I do have a craft mat, which I work on when I'm gluing things, but when I'm doing stuff like painting, I really just love just to have my, and I'm just spreading it out with my finger, I just love to have kind of this freedom of being able to slap down paint, and I love how it looks at the end. So here I just have some bottle caps, and I'm just going to put down some circles. And I have about 3 different sizes, but I probably won't use all of them, and some of them are on, you know, are really rounded, and some of them aren't. So just kind of go, and then we'll go in with our orange. We'll make that one a little bit smaller. Actually, I think I'm going to end up using about 4 sizes, but just look around. Off your soda cans and water bottles and stuff, there's definitely some stuff to look at there. And I'm just keeping in mind that I kind of want to leave a space because I'm going to write a word. So just kind of keep that in mind. You can always, you know, go over gesso if you need to. So let's do the big one too. What color did I use for that? I think I did. You can do that in whichever color you want. Maybe I'll use some of this pretty blue. I'm just going to kind of go over it because this paint is a little bit dry on here. So just kind of, and it's faint, but that's okay. No worries. There we go. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Alright. Okay. So then we're going to go in with our black. And what I have here is I have this bottle cap for that. Okay. And I have a black metallic that my friend Carla gave me. He had some because he did this painting of Marilyn, or actually it's a drawing, but he had to have a black background, so he gave me the rest of this metallic paint. So there we go. We'll just kind of stamp that out just like that. Very good. Alright, and I'll just kind of clean this off just by going around in my mat. And I just think that this makes such pretty drop paper. This one I'll probably have to open. Okay. We're going to do the same thing, so I'm just going to put my cap actually in there because I'm being lazy, and I'm going to go around and just add some white circles. But it kind of pulls back that background a lot, the circles do, so it's not so distracting, but it's really cute. And it kind of looks like graffiti, doesn't it? It's really fun. So after you do that, you let that dry, then you end up with these, okay? And it's so pretty with the metallic color because then you know you can, it has a little bit of shine to it. Can you see that black? It's not just plain black, it has some shine, okay? Alrighty, so let's work with this one first, okay? So now I'm going to grab my makeup sponge. Grab this one. Actually, let's grab here. And what I do with these is I just cut them down to get a new clean surface. Just like that. And then I have this stencil. But if you didn't have stencil, you could use bubble wrap. I just couldn't find any of my bubble wrap. And I really didn't look that hard, but you could absolutely just use bubble wrap and it would give it the exact same effect. So just kind of turn it around to which way you want to go, and we're just going to put a little bit of stenciling in. You could also use punchinella, that would work too, which you know you can get pretty cheap on eBay, which I had no idea, but there's a Chinese seller there that sells it, and you get quite a bit of it. So I just do it in a few spots. And that's how it looks. Okay. And actually, I think that one already had some stenciling on it. So let's get one that doesn't have stenciling. Sorry about that. So this one doesn't, okay? Just gonna do the same thing. So what I do is I dab it off a little bit, and that just makes for a better stencil. Just applies much better. That was kind of the trick that I couldn't quite get, and that way you don't get so much paint and it gets a little bit clear. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than what I normally do. I am not the best stenciler, but I still have fun doing it, that's for sure. And this will really knock back that background a little bit. It kind of puts it a little bit back. Hopefully you can see that from the video, that it's a little bit more, and I usually work in odd numbers, so hopefully I have 5 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I do, so, or 3 or whatever, okay? And then after you're done with that, you let that dry with the paint, okay? Then you are going to get out a background stamp. Now for me, and I always have my waterproof ink, that's what I get, or iCavill, whichever you like. And then I have these background stamps that I got from Affordable Scrapbooking. They're a local store in Colorado. She sells super cheap stamps, which is great. And I'm just going to grab it and ink it up really good. And I'm just going to start stamping. Okay? It just gives me a really nice background. There we go. Okay, so that's how it looks now. But it does kind of look like graffiti, huh? Like it's... But I love these. I just think they're fun, and it's such a fun way to use up all your scraps, and it's just a fun little project. So, and it doesn't matter what kind of background stamp you have. You could use script, you can use whatever you wanted, so don't be, picky about that. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this one out too. Just use, whatever you have. You could even use like those little mats from the dollar store. I mean, just look around and see. You can find the coolest stuff at the dollar store. That's like one of my favorite places to go. So we'll just let that dry just for a second, and then we will continue on. And I think it's probably dry now. Yeah, it's good. But what we'll do, so I don't completely mess it up, I always, stamp out my stamps too, is I'm going to grab my oil pastel, which is underneath this mess somewhere. There we go, in black, and I'm just going to create a border. Okay, so I just kind of take the oil pastel and just go over the edges there, and then I just use one of my fingers and I smooth it out. I just love to outline with oil pastel. And if you wanted to, you could even, get them out and add some color in here too, and that'd be pretty too. I just always seal them with Mod Podge or decoupage glue. It works really well. Even you could even seal them with a spray adhesive, and then they don't come. They don't come off. So I hope you guys are doing good. It's been kind of a crazy week for me, but it's good. Always. Very good. So that's how it looks when it's outlined, which I love. And then I just have this little ink pad that I found at the thrift store, and I want to add a little bit more ink. Is this the one that, hopefully, yeah, there we go. It's going. Okay. I just can't tell. And I'm just gonna even enhance that edge more. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But I want these to look kind of grungy, so that's why. And these smaller ink pads are great for that. Perfect. Alrighty. Okay, so now we're ready for the fun part. We're going to do some lettering. And I really don't like my handwriting, but for you, I'm going to handwrite this. Normally I use a stencil, but so let's just pick a word to write. Maybe we'll write, love. How about that? So I'm just going to take, this is my Deco Arts paint pen, and I love these paint pens, but you could use, Craft Smart has craft pens, whatever you have. And I'm just going to make it light at first. I'm just going to do some easy lettering here. Okay. And I do capitals and smalls. And then you're just going to thicken up those lines. Okay. I heard that the Posca pens are really, really nice, but I cannot afford those. I've been looking, at them. So I have to save up to get those, especially the white one. And I love the big brush, big brush pens too. I don't have any of like the big brush ones, but I do have some smaller ones because they're not too expensive at my local art supply store here, Gary's. So I love that place, and they have such great prices. So yeah. So that's just one that I'll have to dream about. Until then, I'll just be using my Deco Arts paint markers, which is great, and they work fine. And let's maybe do another one. We'll wait for that to dry, and we'll just kind of repeat the procedure here. So I'll just go around with my oil pastel. And I may not finish this one all the way, but because I don't want to keep you guys here too long. And there's some things, like, I think that there's just a lot of hype about products. You know, you can get the same effect from using stuff that you already have. So definitely, if I'm interested in buying something, it's because I've done my research, you know, and I think that it's a good value, you know. But yeah, but it's just a dream. One day maybe I'll get some, maybe I won't, and that'll be okay. But I think you definitely can't, you know, just get something because people tell you to, or it's a hype thing. Like, you have to make sure if it's really valuable. And you know, I don't think you should ever go broke, you know, doing crafts or buying the latest thing. I mean, because there's so much stuff out there. I mean, you could really go broke if you don't watch it, you know. Okay, let's maybe put let's do peace for this one. Oops. Apparently I can't spell, but that's okay. We'll fix that up. I don't know what I was spelling, but there we go. Alright. Okay. So we'll let that dry too. And now I'm going to get this is a uniball Signo, and I think this is the Angelic, which is not really waterproof like the Signo, the uniball Signo, the other one that I got, the kind of thicker one, but it works, and I just spray it and it's fine. But you just take it and you just outline it. But it was a cheaper price on eBay, and I didn't realize that it wasn't the one that I had before, but that's okay. But I do know that they are selling uniball pens now at the Walmart by my house, so you could definitely get one of those, and I think they're only $3 there, and then use your 40% off coupon, and it'll only be a couple dollars. So I recommend that you do that, because I do love the Signo pens. They're definitely worth the money for sure. Again, that was one that I tried out too. I just ordered, you know, like a little 3-pack on Amazon. I think it was like $7, and they were having a sale, and then I tried it out and I love them. So that's something that I'll continue to buy, because I know that, you know, it's not just the hype, it's something that I'll definitely use. Cool. Alrighty, guys. And I'm not, you know, if you have the money to buy, you know, expensive art supplies, I'm totally not saying that you should. It's just that I don't. I'm on a budget with my creating, and I love to show people, you know, that you can create beautiful art without spending a ton of money. You know, that's kind of what this channel is all about. So hopefully I'm not offending anyone by saying that. If you absolutely can afford to spend that much money, go for it. I would if I could. Like, if I had unlimited resources, I would totally spend them on art supplies. But look at that. Perfect. I would. Like, yeah, I totally would. Because I love art supplies. And I just love to create, and I sell stuff, you know, at craft shows, and I'm trying to get into maybe some type of store, like an antique store, but they kind of sell like craft items too. Like, you could sell cards there, or soap making, and you just rent like a little station there. And yeah, so I'm looking into a couple local ones, and hopefully I can find one that, you know, the rent's not that expensive and it has good traffic, or at least that I can sell enough, because I just love the process of creating. I mean, that's really what it's all about. So it's like my favorite thing to do. It's so fun just sitting back and creating beautiful art. Hopefully you guys can see okay. Let me bring you in a little bit. I'm just outlining. It's nothing too fancy there. And you know, if you don't like how the white is looking, or if you want your letters to be thicker, this one I need to start up a little bit, then you can just go over it with a black pen. And you don't even have to use a paint pen. You could also use a permanent marker, and that would work too. And then you could use like just any kind of white pen or marker would work for outlining. And I'll have to do like a video for you guys, like on the basics, you know, art and mixed media supplies, you know, the basics that you need on a budget, you know, because I'm always on a budget. So yeah, so I can tell you kind of the things that you do need to buy, you know, but it's not very many, and they're not expensive, and if you use coupons, it's really not that bad. Now I heard that the white Sharpie works well too, but all I could ever find is the oil one, and the white one, the waterproof or the water one or water-based one is super expensive on eBay. I think it's like $20 for 3 of them, and I'm like, okay, well, that ain't gonna happen. So yeah. Yes, but that's something. But look at how beautiful these are. I just love them. So we made these two together in about 20 minutes. So this is a fun project that you can definitely do in no time. Super fun. All I cut out was really the drying time, and that was it. But it dries super quick. They're easy to work on. I will seal them just so that they're protected for whatever the recipient does with them. Now, I would like to swap with a couple people. I have made 3 extras. So what we're going to do is you can make me a postcard, and I'll send you one of these. All you need to do is leave a number in the comments from 1 to 100. Hopefully that's enough. Yeah, 1 to 100. And I will pick 3 numbers, and I'll write them down, and then for the next video I will pick the numbers, and then we'll see who got the closest, and those 3 people I will send you a postcard. And you can send me one if you'd like, or you know what, you really don't even have to. I would just love to send you a postcard because you guys are awesome and you're always so supportive, and I would love to send you a piece of my artwork. Okay. And for the people that sent me postcards for my birthday, if you haven't given me your address, please do. I sent out the first batch, so I sent out 10, and I only have 4 more addresses that I have, but I have like 10 extra cards that people sent me. I just kind of lost track of the envelope and stuff. So maybe if you could send me your address, that would be great, just to confirm, you know, that I have it and that I sent you a postcard, because I was so touched by your generosity that I would love to send you just a small token of my art. But I just love these. They're so beautiful, aren't they? And they're so like full of texture, and you know, I just love them, and it's a great way to use up your scraps. Okay guys, so happy creating. I will see you next time. If you have any questions, let me know, and have a fabulous day. Create something beautiful, because you're amazing, and you guys are unbelievably creative, and I love seeing all your work. It just touches me and makes me happy all the time. So so thank you for all your encouragement and all your beautiful comments. You guys are the best subscribers and crafty friends in the world. And I'll be definitely giving away more of my art, you know, because like stuff like postcards and tags and stuff, they just kind of sit around, and if you guys want them, I have no problem sending them to you. So that will definitely be something that I will start doing. So just remember to leave a comment and pick a number between 1 and 100, and the 3 people that are closest to the 3 numbers that I picked will win one of these postcards. Okay. Alrighty guys, good luck. Alrighty, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.